Yeah, I look on my life, and it's not always in bitterness, but then I look at the reality that I live in. And I mean, I look at other people's lives, and I question, a lot of tradition. You feel me? Like a lot of things that you hear, it goes without saying. Like these right here is the like utterances from a poor man, a broken man that's been getting terrorized for literally no reason for years and years and years and years and years and years. Being tortured inhumanely, by celebrities, the government, that work with those celebrities, and injustice and corruption colluding into a giant, cult, a demon possessed influential figures. And that's what I know is life. You feel me? And it's a lot like being forced to live, with all of that pushing back on you. It's just like, at those football practice camps. It's like, how they push the blocks, they push the little block of things, when they, in practice. It's just like that, but like forever in real life. That's how my life has been. Being forced to, you as a regular person in society, according to what society says you're supposed to do and what you're supposed to be and what you're supposed to pursue, doing everything by the book, the way they said exactly how you're supposed to do it. Is no other option outside the law. Outside the lines for me, and so, for me, and for me to have to try to live my life, like as if I'm pushing, like one of those, while you got like a barrier in front of you, So every step of the way, you got all of that, demon coats, pushing back on everything that you, every step you make forward, they push back on you for your entire life, And not because you did anything, but because you have something that they wanted. You feel me? Intangible goods, like your brand, identity, personality, things like that. Your talents, your gifts, spiritual, gifts and things like that. That you can't really put your thumb on per se, but you feel me? It's real though. It's just like air. You feel me? Just like wind. Wind is there. You can't put your finger on it, but it exists for a fact. That's how it is that's how this stuff is to my life, including the persecution. I've gone through this so much, and that's what it is, man. The country gets pleasure from my suffering. I've been like a continual source, a resource for them for decades. An undisclosed, unofficial resource for, tons of different types of, influences and things, which shows the neglect, and leniency, as well as the unsympathetic, lack of compassion for my situation, my circumstances, all year, every year, seeing what I'm going through and, what's happening to my life. And that's why it's really, virtually no, interest, in helping me. And so, at that point, you realize, it ain't really nobody in this position. So it's hard, like, to use like a reference or advice, but it ain't really nothing like that, cause the thing about my life is I never once, people try to, it was a premeditated agenda upon my life in order to railroad me into what they wanted to see me be. You feel me? What they desired, in advance early on, they got to jump on it. And, they did, they went above and beyond to ensure that my life, would be, be conformed into the boxes that they had pre-planned for my life to be conformed into. To be binded and bounded by the mental constructs that they themselves are a victim of, a permanent victim of. Feel me? They want everybody else to be, what they, are, what they embody. You feel me? And so my life was, it's like they put like a roof, you feel me? They put like a box around my entire life, in advance before I ever was able to start walking. You feel me? And it was to limit me from all sides, from any type of success or altitude. And you see a perpetual cycle of that repeating now. Now over the years, as if, it's hundreds of, maybe even thousands of people that's aware of this situation, in various aspects and walks of life. And the thing is, they personalize the experience more in order to justify, to like exonerate, you know what I'm saying, those that's responsible because of how they themselves are also profiting at the expense of, pretty much a child, an innocent person, a lamb, a sheep, and, they did everything possible to demonize me, you know what I'm saying, and try to distract from, and try to make you out to be a bad person, you know what I'm saying, in order to take away from the guilt that they feel from, knowing the real reality of what's really happened. You know what I'm saying? Knowing that they literally exploited, lying on, bullying, torturing an innocent person the whole time. You feel me? And then, and that's what it is. The only resolution that people have about it is, no resolution. They only, nothing, man. They really have nothing. They have nothing. They don't even have hearts, you know what I'm saying, or souls. And it's just a matter of like, I've already, did everything possible. I did everything right, in my life, as far as like, according to the structures. What they say, how you supposed to, try to, pursue success and all of that, for social studies and, things that you learn. I did everything I was supposed to do, you know what I'm saying? Even consistently throughout my life. And, it's those same influential figures that was, undermining, my life journey, my life path, when I was a child. It's all the way to now, celebrity, they're rich now. So, the structures intentionally put them above the law, you know what I'm saying? But they themselves had their own unilateral motive and goal for that, though. You feel me? So it was a split thing, like some duplicity, because, the influential figures' interests were to make money off my brand and likeness and things. You know what I'm saying? Spiritual identity, that is not really that hard to understand or pick up on for anybody who know what to look for, and they invested so much into it, and they had to make a way for themselves, to attain success. And see, that's what the artists' interests were. But then the structures had their own interests, but they both had a common interest of, destroying, serving a God, early on, and destroying, erasing, disinventing, canceling, doing whatever possible to, hide the existence of said messenger of God. And they rather choose beast, and worship, the devil's, ideas, of leadership, you know what I'm saying, willfully, you know what I'm saying, because of what they've invested against, you know what I'm saying, serving a God that was appointed by God. And so that's the thing. So, you can tell that, I'm not under a normal situation, but, the content, the stuff that I'm having to post in the amount of, time and the quantity I'm having to post it so much, because that's according to like the amount of unconstitutional impositions. Cause, considering my full testimony, you know what I'm saying? All my quotes over 20,000, all my recordings over 1,000, considering all of that, that in itself is traumatizing enough. Having to go through that is traumatizing to the billionth power, way past unimaginable, persecution. And, when you see that you did everything possible, you know what I'm saying, to make it stop, you know what I'm saying, legally and civilly, and then to see that it not only continues on, but you got the very people that were reported to also participating in it, that changes, the very ones who this stuff was, who is their responsibility, natural obligation, to prevent and, to render order, you know what I'm saying, in a civil society, when you see that they themselves also are like getting a piece of the pie from the damages and your suffering and torture, then as in an average regular person, how would they think that make anybody feel? You know what I'm saying? You don't care about being cool. You don't care about labels. You don't care about being a legend. You know what I'm saying? You don't care about nothing like that. You don't want to just survive. You want to live too. They want you to depend on people who they also already are in colluding with. You feel me? To complete the murder larceny. You know what I mean? And it's like you could talk and preach about it day and night, man. But as a regular person, and me going through this stuff, I think, you know what I mean, that's why I said I ain't really too hip or you know, like any ethnicity type based, you know, stereotypes or generalizations of things, for the simple fact that, you know, I've gone through this for 8 years. I've saw single-handedly, you know, I've learned, you know, about cults and stuff from experience, from watching it and going through it myself, you know, being a clean slate and not even understanding, and being tortured and cruelly, you know what I'm saying, afflicted, you know, on purpose, intentional, you know, for a prolonged period of time in various ways for, you know, with unprovoked. And it ain't until now that, you know, you got certain influential figures that's saying this and that, you know, to make it seem as though this whole time they had a substantial reason to be attacking me like that. When you know, I mean, when this wasn't so obvious those years ago, you feel me? And so, you know, they're you know, stepping to the front, to the forward, you know, like, to make it seem as if, you know, the whole time, you know, they you know, is you know, they tortured a child, and you have to grow, and the child was forced to like grow into, you know, them and everything that they did to their life in advance. You feel me? So I mean, yeah, no persecution is pleasant. You know, while you going through it, you know, and with it being for so long, you know what I mean? Yeah, I don't have any hope in people and humanity. You know, I've been discriminated against, you know, with the knowledge of the structures for my religion, and I'm a Christian, you know, so I mean, you know, they're not, you know what I'm saying, not the structures. And so I mean, it just happens, you know, it's been 8 years straight. You know, these people take responsibility for it. You know, they don't get no type of scrutiny, or they don't even get frowned upon. You know what I'm saying? And if they do get frowned upon, it's just for one day. And then the next day they right back doing the same thing to me. You know, 8 years straight, from January to December, regardless of whatever circumstance I got. And I didn't even know these people until like didn't know who they were till like the last 2 years, 2 or 3 years, you know. So all this other stuff, you know, that was happening to my life, you know, in the old times, you feel me? Yeah, I was totally oblivious from it, you know. I mean, yeah, I didn't know that, you know, there's people like this in the world. And that's the situation. So, you know, they esteem a life. So, I mean, regardless, people say lives or whatever, man, my life is a telltale sign that, you know, it's lives that are valued above other lives. This is the official thing. I mean, even by, you know what I mean, it don't matter what your ethnicity is, I guess, you know what I mean? That's the reality, you know, and the artists, you know, that, you know, profited off the, you know, brand, you know what I'm saying, and identity of, you know, how they did this to a child. Then they have, you know, anybody who enabled that and allowed them and facilitated and helped, you know, them accomplish that, you know, that pathetic, you feel me, scam and pathetic, you know, means to attain success. Then, you know, they are particularly, you know, protective of that, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? It went in the civil society. So you realize that, yeah, that society is not, you know, nowhere near God at all. You know what I'm saying? It's from a structure level down. It's nowhere near God at all, to say the least. It's nowhere near civil. You know what I'm saying? Nowhere near civil. That's been like the last 7 or 8 years straight. You know, and so I mean, it still remains to be a compounding situation. You feel me? Like, you know, and so right in the sight of the structures, you know what I'm saying? I just had 2 new occurrences, you know, same things happening, you know, you can't sleep. You know what I'm saying? That's a problem if you sleep. You know what I'm saying? You can't eat. It's a problem if you eat. You know what I'm saying? You can't do anything. You can't drink. You know, you can't breathe. You know, like every single thing that they, you know, every single thing possible of a person, they butcher that. You know what I'm saying? And they've been doing this to my life for so long, unprovoked. And no matter what I say to the whole country, you know, or the world, you know, You know what I'm saying? Nothing changes about the situation. They continue with it like I'm not even talking. You feel me? I made hundreds of recordings screaming and crying for help. Crying out for help, because I'm a poor man and I'm a regular person. So, I mean, these rich people are literally bullying my life unprovoked without cause. And, they've known. And so, in order, it just haven't registered with them that they doing this to, God. But yeah, it's a constantly compounding crime. And, I already made it very clear that I did not want no mutuals, no links, none of that. You know what I'm saying? I've been said that I don't want to be friends. I don't want nobody claiming my name when I'm gone. None of that, you know what I'm saying? Because they was not Team Eli. Because me, like I was saying before, me going through all this stuff for the last 8 years, I saw the entire arsenal, you know what I'm saying, of satanic cults and things, because I was the victim of it all. You know what I'm saying? I've seen single-handedly and learned from experience from going through it, what all of this stuff is. And so without even knowing, who, what, when, why, or, just the evil. All I knew was the evil happening out of nowhere, and so, I became familiarized. So I know what society, capable of, you know what I'm saying? And to see that, with even now that the truth is made manifest and it's clear, it still ain't really no interest in, anything that I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? Maybe for like entertainment purposes, people that think it's entertaining and think it's, it's I don't know, they think this is a movie, you know what I'm saying? Or they think this is a show or something. This is my everyday real life. It's being turned into this, my fame being promoted in order to justify, what's happened to me. And so, that's what it is. So, that's the situation. It's an ever compounded crime situation. And, every single place I go, and then, they blame people that they still letting keep doing it, meaning that they themselves are doing it, the people. You know what I'm saying? The people, the Jews killed Jesus. And, that's true. The Romans carried it out, though. But, that's the fact, though. That's the only explanation, you know what I'm saying, for something like this to be happening like that. And it's like, everybody's saying all black lives matter except the black life for Elijah. You know what I'm saying? That's what you're saying. All black lives matter except Elijah. You know what I'm saying? And, think about it. That's really, really, really cold. You know what I'm saying? But everybody unanimously agree with that, though, through their actions, their constant actions. And so, I had enough strength in me to bring the truth to the people. You feel me? That was about all I had, to show the truth to the people. That's how much strength I had in me, and when I did that, it made no difference. You feel me? That's my last, from what I've been going through all these years, the things that apparently, wasn't, they was keeping track of it. You know what I'm saying? I was definitely under watching things, but they were not, keeping it though. You feel me? Or, things, I don't know. Nonetheless, these satanic cults, they still prey on my life from 1994 all the way to now. It's the same cults, jealous, artists influential, the beast, extensions of the beast. You know what I'm saying? They like, the offspring of the beast. You know what I'm saying? And the dragon is the devil, which give them all their power. You feel me? Both beasts. It's two separate beasts, and both rap. And down the pyramid, you feel me? And Eli's prophetic anointing, righteous reign went down the drain. Ever since back then, and to make it and keep it that way, they got their demonic, demon possessed, watchdogs. You feel me? That lie on their senses and things like that. They got their demon possessed, influences to gatekeep. You know what I'm saying? Young Eli, baby Eli from Success. I was the original. You feel me? And that tells you, you know what I'm saying? So you see, they there to gatekeep, Ellie from Success. You know what I'm saying? Because they don't want people to know, what they really been doing for the last 20 years. You feel me? They don't want people to know, how their success is really fabricated. You know what I'm saying? And false. This whole time, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't real. They don't want people to know how they deceive, all these other people. You know what I'm saying? That's the situation. So, it's a tremendous collusion. And yeah, it goes without saying that, it was never no love for God. You know what I'm saying? No love for God, So yeah, man, I definitely I'm not interested, you feel me, in no kind of none of that. You know what I'm saying? I don't want nobody I don't want nobody claiming me. I thought I'm going, don't be talking about I'm famous, all that. No, man. It was fame until it destroyed my ability to maintain without assistance. You feel me? Because at that point, it's in a direct attack from the structures, a terroristic, high, severity crime. You know what I'm saying? Domestic terrorism crime, directly from the Capitol, from the structures, the crooked, like injustices, like on those high levels that's, in charge of maintaining law and order. They got these same artists that been targeting me since 1994 integrated in themselves. And so they sharing a common interest. You feel me? And they're doing this to my life. Those artists are, and then they're creating and allowing the environment for these artists to be able to do this to my life. You feel me? So it's a hand-in-hand thing, and influences and cults and, satanic cults and, things like that, you know what I mean? And that's the situation, you know what I mean? So it was my fame until it, until it interrupt my ability to maintain or survive without assistance. At that point, it was a direct race, blatant, shameless race and religion-based hate crime in plain sight of, all the American people. You know what I'm saying? And plus, I was famous for my literary talent the whole time, too. So it's like, I was famous for the blessing of God on my life before I started writing. And so, it's the nature of the situation. It's hate against God, man. So, so all you can really do is talk about, at this point, you got an entire country and the structures have intentionally, just abandoned and forsaken a child. You know what I'm saying? Forsaken an innocent person. Taking credit for it. And then, just, doing the bare minimum. You know what I'm saying? And so, at this point, it's an act of God, It's no longer man. You know what I'm saying? I'm going through this because I was meant to. You know what I'm saying? There's no way possible that a regular person can go through this with all the information I've already disclosed to the entire world, in the entire country. You know what I'm saying? In a country that claim to be under God, and they're letting this happen to somebody that's following the paths of righteousness. You know what I'm saying? There's no human explanation, for this stuff here, like at all. These people are demon possessed on a large scale. Literally demon possessed on a wide scale, bro. That's the only explanation. And so, and another thing, man, I want them to know, man, that it don't hurt me, man, when y'all be worshiping beasts and stuff, bro. Because they going to hell and y'all going to hell with them. I'm talking about people that try to force these perspectives. I'm like, well, man, the truth. If you still choose to lie, then your fire in hell pit gonna be hotter than everybody else's. You know what I'm saying? So, it ain't hurting me for people, you know what I'm saying? Because they see, everybody know how they've been trying to do. They lie on me, try to attribute the things I create, to other people, and then, that's their gods. You feel me? That's their God. That's who they worship. That's their gods forever. That choice and decision they have to stay with for all eternity. They don't understand it yet, though. You feel me? They've given their soul to these idols and things. You know what I'm saying? They see me create, and then they, attribute my stuff to people that they know did not create my stuff or had any involvement in it. Rather, then simultaneous to that, you got quotes, hundreds and hundreds of quotes of me before, even recent developments ever happened. You got me talking about what's going on or what they was positioning, what they was trying to, what they was doing to my life. So people wouldn't be deceived. You feel me? That's the reason. But they went along to being deceived anyway on purpose, willfully. You know what I'm saying? That's what's going on. They're choosing to be deceived anyway because, of their guilt from, forsaking their own remnant. You know what I'm saying? From, and that's pretty much what it was, So, well, if they come up with the conclusion to ultimately worship and follow and serve the beast anyway, because, they wasn't strong enough, you feel me, to stand up for things that was right, you know what I'm saying, to have a spine, then that's fine with me, you know what I'm saying, because my soul is secured for all eternity, you know what I'm saying, in advance already, so, there's not, you know what I'm saying, and that's not helping their situation, you know what I'm saying, at all. So, I'm like, well, if they choose that they enjoy it, you feel me, but when they realize at the end, when it's all said and done, it's not going to really matter, you know what I'm saying, like art ain't going to matter, it's not even going to be relevant, you feel me, they're going to be standing there, because they don't realize that all this time they build up all this energy, you know what I'm saying, against, you know what I'm saying, serving a God here, for like over 2 decades, you feel me? And then when it's all complete, you know what I'm saying, they're not going to have no sense of direction because what that's their only means for a purpose for existence was to stop the purpose of God subconsciously. They don't even realize it, you feel me? The whole time, that's all they've been trying to do is stop the purposes of God the whole time. On a subconscious level, they don't even realize it. You know what I'm saying? They are enmity at odds and they really battling God like an enemy. The whole time. That's who they've been fighting. Not even Dexter, not Eli. You know what I'm saying? They ain't been fighting Eli. They've been fighting God. Over 2 decades and still counting. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, well, when I finally, an innocent man, and I finally get destroyed, like my crucifixion over, like all the way. It's like, that's what they've been working their entire lives to accomplish. You know what I'm saying? From 1994 to now. That's the moment that they've been working their entire lives to accomplish. They wanted to see the crucifixion of Jesus Christ. The whole time, that's all they've been doing was trying to kill Jesus Christ. From 1994 to now. That's their own goal, agenda, and all of them unified together, and integrated themselves with the structures to ensure, you feel me, on purpose, to purposely integrate themselves with the structures to ensure that, it would be completed no matter what. And what is really, and what is really gained after that, and that's the situation. So, I know I ain't gonna be here forever, thank God. But they not either though. And they invested so much into something that don't matter in the long run. Cause even after the beast gone, you feel me? When you think like long term, even it's gonna come a time when the beast are even gone. Then what people gonna do? Like, even the people that did this, even if they successfully assimilate Elijah's, the real Elijah's stuff, you know what I'm saying, underneath, the beast's name and all of that, you know how they do it. It's like, then, what do they hope to accomplish in the long term? Like, that's the great deception, but what benefit does it really have long term, to have a success or a legacy, you know what I'm saying, that's that, fugazi, that false, you feel me, to have like a legacy that's that patched up, you know what I'm saying, like chipped off, ripped off, you know what I'm saying, and they really are that. Eli, you know what I'm saying, I had my inspiration, sights, vision, things came from God. It's no comparison. They ain't go through the things I've gone through. And the whole time I've been going through this stuff, you know what I'm saying, it's been without violence. You know what I'm saying? I still been getting attacked with violence the whole time. You know what I'm saying? That's the difference. The only thing and it's by people who said they followed God. They said they was Christian by structured negligence. Even participating with the artists. So that's a situation though. I'm not, I'm not in the same class as people. You know what I'm saying? It's like they trying to they turn the king into a peasant, like divine royalty. You know what I'm saying? They look at it and pass it for, dirt on the ground. You feel me? It's only because of God I know myself. And it's like, that's what it is, But I understand this is a permanent decision, you know what I'm saying, for not just their own spiritual lives, but also a permanent decision for the rest of the country, for the rest of time, you know what I'm saying. It's a permanent active decision to be against the things of God. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it is, So I'm being extorted, as we speak. You know what I'm saying? This after, days after destruction wasn't for the truth. Being extorted with survival still. You got to be friends with certain celebrities, or you can't have human rights, basic civil rights or constitutional rights. You can't live you can't have citizenship. You know what I'm saying? Unless you forfeit, your creative copyrighted things that you create. You know what I'm saying? To some type of joint ownership. In the interest of the structures and influential figures who they've already shamelessly tried to counsel you with, while you're a totally unrelated entity, and you have to worship these people. You feel me? These people, in so many words, you have to worship and bow to these people. Other artists and things that already, you know what I'm saying? And if you don't, then, you informally, unofficially, deprived of, human rights, your right to survive, for the entire year. And that's what's been going on. So, and that's happening to me right now. You know what I'm saying? It's no way possible I could have got into this position, but I got in this position anyway, because of the presence of the same influential figures that was previously reported before any changes in my life ever happened. Before, every time, and the structures, negligence still allowed those people to rest on my life, under false pretenses, even after knowing and seeing that, it's been thousands of times where, it became very evident and obvious that whatever false, smear campaign and everything that was really launched against my life in order to, carry on what's been already going on for the last 20 years. That's what it is. And you see, even the trauma, even the trauma of a person, they exploit that to destroy them with. You feel me? That's how cruel this place is. You know what I'm saying? Even the very trauma that a person has, they use that itself to try to exploit people with. And then, they continue to give it to you in order so they can later kidnap you. You know what I'm saying? So you could become the government's, secret, slaves, if you know what I mean, those kind of slaves. And, the structures had premeditated that since 1994 when they saw I was a child. You feel me? And it's in the interest of artists, and they share those things hand in hand. And so and they're enabling rape, and then trying to allow kidnapping, systematically and strategically over, time. And so that's what you see going on. They keep missing blocks and things on purpose, keeping these people under false pretenses. Every time the truth, is seen, they accept the truth. Then they go back to the lies, together collectively, to still try to push and facilitate this same, this same purpose. So it's a situation that, continue to compound for that, and it's snowball for that. It's an active, horrible, crime situation. You know what I'm saying? They keep trying to get a person into these bad positions to turn them into quite literally slaves. You know what I'm saying? Bypassing the entire law, the entire government itself is that bypassing itself to try to accomplish this. You know what I'm saying? You can't tell me that this is not, possessed. You know what I'm saying? It's way past, that's an understatement. You feel me? The land's being possessed is it's something very, very, but it has to be like one of those science fiction flicks or something, it's like the possession is like crazy. You know what I'm saying? Anybody that allow this right here, consistently, from January to December, every year, you know what I'm saying, in spite of contrary proof and facts and truth, looking right at it. Yeah, man, there's something very, very weird and wrong been going on for a long time. Coupled with the heavy violence, extreme violence, discrimination, it's not something as simple as people lying. No, it's something like, 3-4 million people lying. You know what I'm saying? At that point, it's not one person doing it. Because even if they was lying on me, and things, my testimony been there the whole time. Visible. And, my testimony disprove and debunk the scam against me. I mean, from the moment I became aware of it, I jumped on it. Start clarifying things according to the scripture, which that's what I live. That's how I came up, and so it don't get no easier, because look at the situation. I been, cast by the wayside. My humiliation is being mocked, made fun of, and laughed at. My suffering being laughed at, and my pain, they are enjoying. You feel me? Actively as we speak. They mock me for my trauma. You feel me? They humiliate me, laugh at my cries for help, my pleads, through the years. You feel me? They they laugh, taunted me, for me seeking understanding, of like what is going on. They made up fabricated reasons all the time, to accomplish this. Yeah, man. So it's definitely in stone, that society is the opposite of God, the polar opposite of God, at this point, the lands are the polar opposite of God. It's no way possible. They display none of God's attributes, in the structures at all, thus far, So you see, it's what it is. They love when you down bad. You feel me? They are the kind of, it's like on a large scale, they became all the things that they said they stood against. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? They became everything they pretend that to stand against. Think about it. That's what they are. Really. And all the attack on me, I'm the proof of it. You feel me? And all the attack on me is for them to try to hide and distract and misdirect, people from that cold reality. You know what I'm saying? And that's a situation. Fundamentally, it's hate for God and righteousness.